All righty. I'm excited now. I know that people are going to be, a lot of people have, we always talk about my wife on the podcast, and it's always in a very positive
Hold on.
light.
We don't. I just want to make sure we're super clear.
No, it's always in a positive light, and people are like, "Man, who would marry that guy?" And well, you're about to you're about to find out. So, we are excited to have in studio my lovely bride, Mindy Weinstein, the owner of Market Mindshift, one of the leading digital marketing agencies in the nation, and Mindy, which I like to define her as really one of the thought leaders in the nation when it comes down to digital marketing and AI. So, and Mindy's going to be joining us tomorrow at a very special event at Desert Financial Corporate Headquarters, all about AI and artificial intelligence. Mindy, welcome to the big show, and also the author of The Power of Scarcity. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's been a long time since I've seen you.
It is.
You've been good?
I've been good. It's been
Okay,
about an
great.
hour.
Yeah,
Yes. Breakfast was
We'll
delicious.
have to catch up.
All right. And then we've also invited our digital marketing expert here at West USA, Keith Flynn, to jump into the conversation because Keith is has become an expert not only when it comes down to ChatGPT and AI, but really when it comes down to how agents specifically adopt it. So Keith's got his garage door fixed.
Yeah.
And it was a little dicey this morning, Keith.
I had to ask ChatGPT what was going on. I'm not lying. I legitimately asked it. I had a conversation. So thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
All righty. First question. I really want to get into, because here's how I remember, what was it, like 2 years ago when ChatGPT was launched and became the thing, and all the title companies and the lenders all started having these lunch and learns about ChatGPT, and we as agents ran and flocked to these classes, only to find out, in my opinion, and it could be user error, but in my opinion, it really wasn't all that great. It wasn't really game changing for us. And so a lot of us kind of like, it's just okay, and kind of just went away from it. And then Mindy, you and I, we've had a lot of conversations over the last 6 months about it, and you've talked me getting back into it. Like, it's way better.
It's so different. I mean, it's night and day. So okay, stepping back, everyone needs to understand that AI has been around for a long time. Okay, so it's been...
And Al Gore invented AI, I believe, right?
Sure, we'll go with that. But it's been around a long time. And so I'm coming from a marketing perspective, but in our marketing tools, it's been built in for years and years. But what happened 2 years ago is that all of a sudden when ChatGPT came out, it was more consumer facing, more people saw it in the public. But what you need to know about AI is that what we use today is a lot of what's referred to as machine learning. So it's trying to understand data to give you an output, which I know that now sounds really techie, but basically it needs information to give you any type of answers or anything to create something for you. So what's happened over the last couple of years is that now that we're all using AI and there's more money put towards it, that machine learning, it's getting better and better. So the more data it has, the stronger it gets. And so now we're seeing tools that, I mean, honestly, there was one content tool that I came across that I was shocked. I thought, I can't even write any better than this AI output. And I didn't feel that way a couple years ago. So we definitely have advanced.
Keith, how hard has it been getting agents back into, well, let's just say for agents right now, and we're going to try to blow their minds, when they hear the word AI, all they know is ChatGPT. The average agent's not aware that ChatGPT is just one form of AI. We'll get into that. But, you know, with my premise that ChatGPT wasn't that great when we started, a lot of us got bored. How hard has it been getting agents' interest and back into it?
You know, and thinking about that answer, there's a lot of the same approach for ChatGPT I've seen a lot of agents take with many aspects of their marketing. They get into it, they attend a class, they start it, they create a page, and then they just goes dormant. They don't ever come back to it. And so one of the things that I've tried to educate our agents on is that it is evolving. And as Mindy's pointed out, it is getting stronger and it's getting more intelligent. It now has access to real-time data with searching capabilities. And so I encourage agents to continue to attend classes and educate themselves, continue to learn because it is evolving and it's evolving very fast. We're literally in the middle of an AI arms race right now. Everybody and their mother's baking it into some platform, some type of product offering. And for a lot of real estate agents, there's a ton of products out there for them to utilize for their marketing efforts, video content creation, you name it. Many of the AI applications are focused on many different niches. And so whether you're a loan officer and there's special platforms for them as well as agents, regardless of what your business is, find the platforms that are going to have the most advanced form of their AI baked into it. And continue to look. Don't ever just settle on one because I've jumped from platform to platform, $20 a month here, cancel that, went to a newer version because there's something better. But really, if you're not evolving with your business and continuing to massage it and make it better each and every other day, then you're going to be left in the dust because there's just so many people who are embracing it and really adapting it towards their business models.
Well, for years, especially when I was corporate, my AI that I used was Nick because he's kind of the guy that we all went to for the answers, but he never got better and never got smarter. So
That was really mean.
Amazing.
all right, before we get into some specifics, guys, Mindy, I'll start with you because this is the thing that you and I have been talking about, how it's changing your business model and changing. I'm not going to say completely, but in changing a lot of how you approach your digital marketing business. For us as agents, how is AI really changing the world of marketing? And it's an important question because, Keith, as you know, one of the things that agents we get thrown into as the owners of our own business, we wake up one day and we're the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, and we don't have degrees in marketing and we don't have backgrounds in marketing. But we are marketers. And so I think it's important for us to understand where AI is taking the world of marketing and where is the opportunities for us as agents. Outside of just ChatGPT, give me 7 Facebook posts on the home buying process. That was all we did for a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it is streamlining things. I mean, so with what you're talking about, that example, yes, it can do that, but not that simply. So you asked me, I feel like you asked me like 5 questions in one.
It's possible.
Okay. So
Well, I'm used to being at home where I don't get a word in edgewise, so I gotta throw out all my questions.
We're gonna air all our dirty laundry right now that I'm here. All right, so let's start with, you asked me at first about how is
Changing
AI
the world of marketing.
Changing the world of marketing. And so I will say, like, in my world where this is what we do, we practice marketing. One of the things that's been brought up a lot is, of course, will it replace a lot of our job functions? And so what I've been seeing, and of course this is new, so I mean, I might have a different answer, a year from now, even 6 months from now. It's basically the way that it's working is I feel like it's making people better and more powerful with what they're doing because AI still requires human intelligence and it still requires you to be actively involved. And so what I mean by that, and going back to even agents, is that, yeah, you gave an example of ChatGPT, but if you put it in something like that just says, hey, give me 7 posts, you're not going to get out that good of information. So the way it's changing marketing, it's helping you streamline. But you still have to put in your knowledge. You know your buyer. You know your seller.
And we refer to that as prompts, right?
Right. And there's a lot of different platforms. But I mean, just regardless of whatever you're using, anything. So whether you're using something to create content that's written, social media content, video, email. I mean, there's so many different functions with it. You still have to give enough information of like, this is exactly who I'm trying to reach. And then what happens is the AI tools can come in and really help you get messages out there and do it in a greater scale too. So that's a huge part. And so for me, with what we do now in marketing is at the end of the day, we still have to know who we're targeting always. And so, and I think my book is on scarcity, so I have a psychology background, is that we have to understand who we're reaching, and then we can use
She's
an AI
got the
tool.
psychology background, and she married me. Go figure.
Yeah, I'm going to question that one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. That's another episode. But I think that's it's just helping us. It's a tool, and I think that's what people have to remember. It is a tool, and then even going to Keith, what you said just a minute ago is that it's easy to jump from tool to tool. They do different things, but just pick a handful of the ones you're going to use, and you might change it over time. Don't try to use every new tool that comes out because it's just a lot.
Well, and I think with that, Keith, it's you got before you choose the tools, you got to identify what you're trying to accomplish and what you're wanting, how you're wanting AI to impact your marketing campaigns.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, to your point, when we first started out, it was very superficial, scratching the surface with these, easy prompts. Give me 7 social media posts targeting new home buyers for the next week, And now what we've learned is the better the input, the better the output. And so we're really we're encouraging, and I encourage agents in my classes to really dive deep into what it is that you want to accomplish. And that starts with prompts, and it really starts with educating the AI to who you are, what you do, why you do it, what you want your end results to be. There's an acronym. It's called the BRIGHT method, and it's your brand. It's your really what you're doing is you're just prompting. Can't remember it now. It's drawing a blank. But the prompt really is your ability to input all there is to share with AI so that you get a better response. And so encouraging agents to go deeper, to share more about what you want your end results to be, who you're targeting, what your tone's going to be. Or do you want it to be, fun for the holidays? Do you want it to be sarcastic, since that is my spirit animal? I love sarcasm, and so I've actually asked ChatGPT to help me with sarcastic responses before. Usually find those most effective when I'm texting Nick. But honestly, like if you sit down and you have a conversation with AI like you would anybody, like Mindy or myself, or approach it like you're going to have an intelligent conversation with someone who's thoroughly knowledgeable in what you're hoping to get and extract from it.
Give me an example.
I would start with my brand. So here I'm a real estate agent with West USA Realty of 15 years. My passion is targeting new home buyers. Tell a little bit about myself, my background. I'm an outdoor enthusiast. I like to hike, bike, cross country, whatever that may be. My target audience are first-time home buyers looking to move from a rental into purchasing a home. My goal is to get them into my CRM, start to develop a relationship with them, and then from there, once you've kind of put in your full prompt, then get your results. But here's the thing: just don't stop at that.
Yeah.
Rebake it, go back in again.
Well, that's the thing. If you don't get what you want,
Yeah.
if you're not getting what you're specifically looking for, then you got to go back in and add additional prompts or modify and massage the prompts.
And just to clarify, because I'm just going to assume those agents, no disrespect, have no idea what we're talking about. You're literally typing this into the AI system that you're using. Mm-hmm. So they're going to get in and you're going to type everything that Keith just said, everything that the prompts that Mindy and Keith are talking about. You're typing them in, giving AI that background, that human engagement, and then you're letting it spit back out its results.
And I want to add to that, this is very, very tactical. And this is actually from experience. So I don't know if this is happening to you too, because you do all of that. Because I've done that. I'm going to use ChatGPT as an example, because I still use that. That's one of the many tools that I use. But I spent probably an hour doing a prompt, this is a while ago, of trying to get the brand right, the tone, the voice, all of those things. And then I just assumed it'll remember it when I go back. No, it doesn't work that way. So what you have to do when you type up all those things, once you finally get what you like, save or just copy and paste into a Word document or whatever you use to save information. Copy that prompt and save it, because you'll need to use it again. If you're doing it all in one sitting, great. But if you're like, I'm going to go back and work on this tomorrow, and you've closed everything out, it's not, even though it says it remembers some things, it's not perfect at that.
Yeah, first time I ever used ChatGPT was a couple years ago. I wanted to get on the bandwagon, and so Mindy and I, we had an anniversary coming up, and so I'm like, I'm going to write a killer message in this anniversary card. So I asked ChatGPT, write me, 10 message ideas for my 20, call it our 22nd, 23rd wedding anniversary. And what I got, I'm like, there's no way she's going to buy this. I mean, this was there's no way that I write like this. There's no way that I'm that thoughtful or that sensitive. But it really came back to that was my prompt.
Yeah.
Right?
It wasn't
It didn't
enough.
get into
How amazing I am.
and how amazing
and how
I am,
take care of you.
and how maybe I want it funny, and so forth. So fast forward now that I've been using Chat GPT. Let's just stay on Chat GPT because that's the one that most of us know. Is really breaking it down. So now going back to our social media posts or when I'm creating an email, I went into Chat GPT probably about 3 or 4 months ago and basically asked it to give me a demographic of a Arizona homebuyer millennial between this age and this age. I think it was following a podcast that we did. And I went through, because I remember Matt Baker gave us all of the breakdowns of the age groups. And I now have in a Word doc of like a detailed persona of every type of Arizona home buyer based on specific age groups. So now that I can now cater to it. So now when I want to focus on this age group or I want to focus on this age group, and then I can go in and massage and say, these are first-time home buyers or these are second-time home buyers. The level of quality that I got, it just blew me away because you just if you're gonna market, it's sometimes you can just hey, happy holidays. It goes to everybody, right? But there's sometimes in certain posts you're trying to hit certain demographics. If I'm talking about the new FHA loan limits that Matt spoke about this morning. That's not going to be a generic post because my second, third, fourth-time home buyers that are 50, 60 years old are not doing FHA loans. So now maybe I want to cater it to younger Gen Zers or younger millennials, first-time home buyers. Give me some information to be able to promote. Anyone?
Was there a question?
Not really. Just like, hey, Mike, that's pretty amazing.
Mike, that's pretty amazing. Okay, one thing, I will say with what you, and I think you did this, but again, just so everyone's clear, just again, make it very easy and tactical. When you have those personas, you saved them again. So when you're saying, hey, create some posts and I'm trying to reach first-time home buyers, here's my persona, and you put it back in there. Yep. That's the really important part. Because again, AI is all about the data. It's all about the data. So the more quality data that you feed it, the better you're going to get out of it.
I would say that the one thing I see with a lot of our agents, love you all again, it's very clear when you're copying and pasting from ChatGPT into your social media, into your text reply, into your email reply. This is not a take and bake system. You need to modify it so it sounds like you, especially those that are going to comment a happy birthday post, just like Mike tried to do with Mindy. If you're an HBD kind of person, and then the next year you're dropping like a poem on them, it's they can see through that.
One of the things I would recommend, and if for many of our seasoned agents out there who have written quite a bit in the past, take all of your past writings and input it into ChatGPT and have it analyze your writing so it starts to adopt your tone, starts to get your writing style. Because again, with these large language models, they're learning about what you put into it, and so if you identify your persona as like, hey, here's my past writings, here's my everything from a thank you letter to opening, cold emails to rebuttals to overcoming objections, anything that you've written in the past, have it scan and analyze your writing so that any future output will sound more like you and not so AI.
All right, so we got about 10 minutes left, and oh boy, this time is flying. And so for those of you, obviously you're looking at the screen, we got a great event going on tomorrow at Desert Financial Corporate Headquarters. Mindy's going to be there, kind of really going into a lot of the details of this and a lot of the tools. Bring your laptops. You're gonna actually get these tools, and you're gonna actually use these tools right on the spot. So you can go to mindshiftevents.com or scan that QR code to get signed up for it. So I want to just kind of get into just some favorite uses that are a little bit more creative than just Facebook posts. One of them that we just did, and I haven't posted it on our, we created a Facebook group for agents for AI, but we took because I'm very big on recording. I generally do a lot of buyer consults on Zoom. So we actually, I record these so my team can go back and listen to how I handle a new buyer. And so unbeknownst to me, our operations director, she took the transcript, put it in there, and then actually analyze the entire conversation of how I led that buyer from I am not interested at minute 10 and 36 seconds is when the buyer started changing his tune. And now I can go back and I completely was able to analyze my entire sales call and go back and go, okay, what could I have changed? It was remarkable.
Yeah, no, well, one of the ways that I've been using it a lot, again, from a marketing perspective, but still applies to really everyone listening here, is when you do come up with a really good idea that you're like, I know that the potential client I'm trying to reach would really like this topic, you don't have to just stick with one thing, meaning like, oh, you create, let's say, a newsletter that you send out. You could actually do a newsletter, but take that and then make it into a video. Then you can also make it into audio because some people like audio. There's actually podcasting AI now too, which that's a little still, it's working, it's getting there, but you could do that. You could also create an infographic, and all of that's with AI. So you take one thing and now you've basically come up with all these different formats for it, which is great because we all have ways we like to consume content. So it really does reach that too. And you can make it into a social media post too.
Yeah, and I was gonna suggest that, Mike, role playing is a huge aspect of being in sales. And so I have a former sales background, and I remember the years of sitting in with my general manager and other sales associates and role playing, and there's just no other better way to work your way through. Cold calling, overcoming objections, getting to the root objection, then actually doing it and sitting down with someone. And so one of the things that I've encouraged a lot of agents to do is if you are using ChatGPT to download the app. And in the bottom right corner, there's a little headset, and you click on that, and it actually enters into a conversation mode with ChatGPT. So you can choose your voice. There's many voices to choose from, and then you just prompt. It'll say, "Hey Keith, how's it going today?" And you have a normal conversation. Let it know that I'm a real estate agent. Would love to role play with you. I want you to assume the persona of a buyer.
But back to what we said earlier,
Yes.
you got to really break that down. What kind of buyer? What kind
Right.
of age group? Because
Exactly.
that's how you get so detailed in this role playing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Tell it everything that you want it to take on, the persona. So, the age, the demographic. Are they a renter? Do they have bad credit? You add in everything that you would think that, or it's going to help you work through the role play. And then, tell it to ask you back questions. And then after each question, you would like it, or every time you answer, you would like it to critique your answer. So that are you answering the correct way? Are you misleading? Is there a better way to answer that? And so not only am I going to have AI role play with me, but I'm also going to have it offer suggestions on how I can become a better sales rep.
Are there any kind of like recently shockers about AI? Like, oh, you just came across recently, like, I can't believe we can actually do that with AI.
For me, it was the podcasting that I said. I mean, I was shocked, and I had a client send that to us, said, oh, we just created an entire podcast episode using AI. And that blew my mind. I would say that definitely blew my mind. I want to add one more thing too, because I just thought of one other usage of AI that I've done recently too. So especially for presentations, if you know ahead of time what you're going to present to whoever it is, your buyer, your seller, you're going to likely bullet point what you're going to say, however you go about it. But my use case was I had recently that I had to do a very short presentation, and I wanted to make sure that I was very clear about what my points were. Like, will people really understand what I'm trying to say? And I actually I had typed up the entire thing I was going to say. I actually put it into ChatGPT, and I said, what would you think the main takeaways for someone would be? And I actually went back and massaged it because I was like, no, I emphasized that a little bit too much. That wasn't my main point, and then switched it a bit. So that was just something to mention that, might work if you're practicing a presentation ahead of time.
I mean, there's little random things that you can utilize, especially if you have maybe a difficult texter or emailer that you're working with client-wise. You can drop your response into ChatGPT, or you can put their response in a chat or their email and ask it to give you a a nicely worded email and nicely worded text. It can help you be a little more firm. It can help you write that, hey, I don't think we're a good fit to work together kind of text or email. I mean, it gives you a lot of different prompts that you can utilize in your day-to-day that you're just not sure where to get started.
All right, we are up against the end of the hour, and I'll just say the last thing that we've started to use it is, our team, we use the upgraded iFound Agent websites that allow blogging capability, and I'm not expecting to be found on Google and come up the top 10 search is on Google, but I can take the podcast that I do, transcribe it, and ask ChatGPT to turn it into a blog or record something and have it transcribed, and I need a blog. And then I can now upload that into my website as a blog. Now I have a link that I can send to people and say, hey, check out my latest blog on this and latest blog on interest rates and so forth. But all right, as a reminder, tomorrow we're going to really get into it. I have no idea what your question was.
Yeah,
Nick.
Scribble. We have a lot of people that are not available tomorrow, so we
this is
need
it.
you to get another class scheduled ASAP. Mindy.
No. I would cancel what you're doing. So this is tomorrow at Desert Financial Corporate Headquarters. So there's mindshiftevents.com, the QR code. Also, I mentioned we have a brand new Facebook group for real estate agents, AI for real estate agents. Mindy, Keith, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I owe Mindy more than I owe you, Keith. Yeah. So that's okay. All right, we'll leave you with the cheesy quote of the day. Focus on what you can control, your effort, your mindset, and your service to clients. Go out and sell a home.